This is the Ink, Pray, Love podcast. We talk all things health, wealth, and community connection. Let's go. Welcome back to this episode of the Ink, Pray, Love podcast here at Lighthouse Studios in Bali. Today I have a very special guest for you. It's my brother, my soul brother, medicine man, Andrés Espinoza. Sorry, I get a little bit excited because we were laughing our asses off before we started. And we have crazy stories to tell. I personally sat medicine with this guy, and it was very special. On my birthday, very recently, and I had an extremely powerful experience and a deep bond with him right when we met. And it was like soul brothers right away. And I found out we both had been through a very serious motorcycle accident. And his recovery was very interesting. And it's a great story. And I'm excited for you to share everything that you have to give. But also just thank you for being such an epic human. Anybody that I introduce you to or talk about you, I'm like, you'll fucking love this guy. Your heart, your energy, just you as a human, it's so sweet. And you can feel it through when you're speaking, when you're talking. It's pretty much like a commercial for ayahuasca. And I'm like, ayahuasca, it works. Look at Andrés. And you're just so full of love and light and sweet and so good at music and just everything. And I'm like, yeah, that medicine works. You're the perfect commercial for it.
Oh, thank you so much, brother, for having me. And the only thing what I can say about the ayahuasca and the plants, about what you're just starting for now, is these medicines, they can only increase your talent, my brother. Mm-hmm. But it's like a lifestyle too. So yeah, it's real medicine.
You live the lifestyle.
Yeah,
you do.
I live it, and I'm so happy and so honored to be part of this sacred circle of the people who share these medicines, especially from the Amazon and the tribes. Is like one of my biggest treasures. Yeah, with my family, my children, and of course my friends, my relatives is like the most important. Even the people who I don't like or they don't like me, even them, it's like blessings, Yeah, because you avoid so many feelings, if you just act like that. So I'm still a human being, brother, and I have two things to figure, but yeah, medicines helps a lot. At least for me, they just changed my life. So
how did you get into it?
It was super randomly, brother. But anyway, the fact that the cup of this medicine came to me was random. But my life as a medicine man just started when I was a child. I used to spend long times with my grandmother. So my grandmother was raising me, and I was living with her. So
this is in Chile.
In Chile, yeah. So at my example, 7 years old, I start to have these dreams about gatherings, and I used to see myself from the eyes from that kid, but with more people around me, and music. So I start to whistle in that time. And I used to wake up at 3 a.m., brother, whistling in the night from my dreams. And my grandmother used to come to my room and tell me, what are you doing? You're whistling. You're calling the spirits. You don't have to do this in the night. And I used to take her hands and still attached to my dream. I used to say to my Grandma, we will buy a big truck and a big plane, and we will travel all around the world together, and we will meet so many people, and we will be always together.
Amazing.
That was my messages from my dreams. So, okay, then I was having these dreams, and I was in a fairy tale story with my grandmother, so full of love all the time. She was taking care of me in such a beautiful way. She gave me, yes, all her love and blessings. She take care so much of me, and she passed when I had 14 years old, like in my transition from a kid to a man. So I was like with plans and things like that. I thought that they were aligned with myself and my future, just to make her happy and follow also my family, my cousins, and the people, my family who was very successful, and they were a super good example. No? So I was focusing to be like a great man always, to just to make my grandma happy. Mhm. So, and then I just like start to flow, and my grandma died, and that was the biggest trauma for me in my whole life. Mhm. Yeah, more than all of the other traumas that I was carrying, but that was the the most biggest,
I get
the
it.
biggest one of all of them.
Yeah.
And I was with this pain brother for more than 10 years. More than 10 years. So this was my 14, and then uh, I did my life. I made a lot of music between after my grandma died. Between my 15 years old, I just left the school. I just went out because I had to go to live with my mom, my stepdad, which wasn't such a good vibe. I didn't was accustomed to that kind of life because I was so free with my friends, always on the street, riding my bike, going to visit the gypsies, and very mystical, going to the hill in front of our neighborhood, sharing music and singing everywhere. So finally, in some point, also because of a trauma, I changed my life. I was playing music and singing in many places all around Chile, from my 15 years old to my 21 years old. Mhm. So, in some point of my 21, I was out of a supermarket, and this group of punks, they came to me and with my friends to get our things, to assault us.
Oh, they're punks. Okay, like street
Punks,
kids. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
Okay.
These punks
I
of
thought
the
you said
streets,
group
very
of
tough.
banks.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, punks.
Okay.
Yeah, very, very tough punks from the streets. They came to assault us,
Oh shit.
and they broke my eye. Hmm. So I was in the hospital first time in my whole life.
Wow.
Uh-huh, in that way, nobody ever touched me in that way.
Yeah.
So that changed my life, and I went to my uncle, master of kung fu, and I start to train. I start to train, and
How old are you?
I was 21 years
Okay,
old.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I start to train with him, and I learned how to fight because I didn't know it before, how to fight so well, especially against like many people. So I say no with kung fu. I used to see the movies, and I had my uncle and my auntie, very beloved people for me. They are kung fu masters in Chile,
Cool.
international, my cousins champions and everything. So very proud of them and sending blessings. And yeah, so my uncle and my cousins, they train me and they teach me how to do this. So this changed my life for 5 years. For 5 years, changed my life. And I went deep in this. Finally, I get this job in security in one of the best clubs in Chile, and I was working in there and training with the people of UFC and everything. So I was very into it. Training a lot in those times and working in this and also working in retail. I used to have two works, so I was fully into the matrix, my brother. Just because of this took me out completely
Wow.
from the essence of the music and everything. I wasn't making music in 5 years. Zero. And then yeah, I was in some point very stressed, having again dreams, like these crazy dreams, very violent and like stressful. I used to wake up in the night, like sometimes from the dream, hitting my own wall, and like like impressed, like, oh, what is going on? And in some of those dreams, I saw this old friend of mine. During that time of my stress, I saw him randomly in one of my dreams, and I could remember he was in there. I don't know, maybe like some time later, I was in my home in Chile, and this guy just came. After I didn't saw him for years, and this friend of mine, he came and he had a drink with me too, and he was doing ayahuasca few times before me, like few more ceremonies before. Mm? So he started to reconnect with all his old friends because it's something that happened with this medicine. You can see that your beloved people, your friends of your childhood, your friends, your actual friends, current friends, and also even the future. So basically, my journey started because of the dreams. The dream world brought me here because I never did any psychedelics before. I never was my practice in all my life doing any psychedelic in any way. So only once in 2000 I went with this rave, and some people like two girls from California, they invite me this LSD, and we just did it in Chile in this beautiful rave. We had an amazing time. Then I never did again. So for me, going to the Aya, in the beginning, I took it. I was so like focused also in my work and kind of in a superficial life, also like with a big ego because of my capacity at the moment to fight and be this man in the security, choosing the people. You, yes, you're not. So I was with the ego very high.
Yeah.
So I understand when you say to me why the people considerate the medicines as drugs, because that was one of my first thoughts when my friend, who I knew it him then before, and I didn't know anything about the plant and the power of this plant and the cultures and the nations who this plant is the mother of, So I just say, okay, no, this is one more, one more
Adventure
like
or something.
party or something like that. But he came with this info. He said, so I had this drink with you, and you are coming with me to this and this. He started to talk to me about shamans a Friday night at 3 a.m. Start to talk about shamans, and I said, what? And he said, yeah, and we are drinking this ayahuasca and everything, and it's amazing. You're gonna have this journey, and you have these hallucinations and everything. He was really smart to reach with me, because if he started to talk to me with so much spirituality, maybe I will reject the invitation, only because we are kind of going out of religions and these kind of things, especially in South America.
Sure.
It was dominated for this, and now we are coming back to the essence, many of us. So he was very smart in his invitation, and he invited me this Friday night at 3 a.m. and he started to sing the song of them. So all of us, we used to be musicians, and singers too. So we caught the energy, and everybody started to sing, and like we were even drinking and everything, and singing the sacred songs, and he get the energy of all of us. So I was one of course, like was the same guy, but for my community too, so very loved and respected, So, okay, let's go tomorrow.
Okay.
And he invited me to the next day. That was my decision, was in 2 hours. Like, he invited me at 3 a.m. on Friday, and I went at 6 p.m. on Saturday.
Wow.
That was the whole time. He never spoke even anything about me, about diets and about like nothing, absolutely nothing about previously to the ayahuasca, how we do in these moments, which is very important.
A little bit more education.
But I didn't have that. I didn't have that.
Into the deep end.
Yeah. So I just like say, okay, yes, I felt the call because of the dreams. Only because I saw him in my dreams. So we are very present in the dreams too, in the dream worlds, whatever we do. No, so it's a very powerful message when it's coming from there. So I went to the ceremony next Saturday, brother. Actually, he didn't tell me anything. I just woke up the Saturday, normal day.
What was it like?
I went to eat a barbecue and I had some beers.
You had some beers before?
Yeah, right before. When he came to pick me up, before the ceremony at 6 p.m., I had a beer in my hand and a piece of meat in the other hand. And he said, okay, come on, let's go. It's time. Okay, I'm committed with this. Let's go. I just leave my beer, my piece of meat, because I couldn't bring it with me. It wasn't the vibe, no? Yeah.
Wasn't the vibe.
Wasn't the vibe.
Okay, just bring this meat with me? All right.
Yeah. He said absolutely no. Yeah, because I asked. Yeah.
Are you working like a...
Yeah, brother. Yeah.
That's funny.
And I went first time to this big house. How we usually work, this big house with a beautiful salon and the altars of the shamans in there, and this super beautiful crew of the Daime church in Brazil. So everybody wearing white, like a super nice smells inside of the houses, which was something that as soon as I opened the door, somebody opened the door of that house for me. Just that those smells and that energy, they brought me so much light that I was so happy to go into that place. Yeah.
Were you wearing all white? Did they tell you to wear all white, or just they were?
No, I never wear white. No, I just went with my style.
Yeah, barbecue shirt.
Yeah. So they opened and was all these people inside, and I saw these little beings, brother. These very tiny beings, which are the Amazonian shamans.
Okay.
I think they are 1.5 meter maximum.
Wow.
They're super tiny.
And you're like the opposite of tiny, bro.
Exactly.
You're the largest shaman I've ever met.
Exactly. And when I wear my feather, it's like 2.5 meters or something.
I remember because I was really in my journey, and you came out and like midway through, and I just saw you walk by, and you were like 7 feet tall with the feathers, and I was just like, whoa, wow, he is so big. I love him so much. It was like the Condor song was playing. I'm like, he is definitely a condor. He's amazing. Yeah, quite a presence.
Yeah, so I saw these beings, brother, and my friends say, okay, blessings. Now you're by your own, so you need to do Cambo, and rapé, and sananga, and then ayahuasca.
All at once, first time.
All at once, first time in my first night in there. So I arrived at 7 p.m. in there, and yes, my spiritual father, Paye Peno Kamanawa, very powerful shaman from Amazon, leader of his communities, and wow, is an amazing healer. Now he's touring in USA. Yeah, I brought him the last year with his wife, and now they are going there again to meet with all my communities and their communities that they already built by themselves. So I'm very happy for them. So Paye Peno was in there with Paye Kaku, 2 shamans, but Paye Peno is just like such a light. And he came to me, and he just looked at me with this face. He gave me a hug, and so I felt his love. And till that moment, I didn't know it about anything. So, and I was very worried. I was like, just going into everything. Whatever they say, okay, I will do it. I'm here for this.
Yeah.
So, and they say, okay, Cambo. They didn't even give me any explanation. They just say, okay, Cambo first. What is this? And this brother wearing white, and he say, okay, I'm gonna do Cambo for you, and so sit down in there and drink 2 liters of water. That was the only info that I received.
That is crazy.
Yeah, and I say to him, my brother, blessings, but I wanna do it with him. I'm sorry, nothing personal, but I don't want you to burn me. I want he burn me.
Wow.
Yeah.
You felt the connection.
Yeah. I felt the connection with Peno. And he said, okay, Paye Peno, can you do Cambo for... Yes. He came to me, and he just burned me 13 times.
Your first time?
My first time.
Yo, I mean, obviously you're a huge dude, so
yeah,
I get it. Can you explain to everybody who maybe doesn't know what Cambo is real quick?
Oh, yeah, of course. Cambo is this medicine from this unique frog from the Amazon, which is one of the main medicines of all the Brazilian tribes, especially because this frog only live in the center of the jungle. There's no frogs like this in any other place. Maybe there's other frogs around the Amazon that they have different medicines or different effects and whatever, but there's no one like Cambo. Cambo has these glands, this secretion coming from there. So this secretion has thousands of peptides for different pathologies of human beings. So it's a medicine that can help you to heal wherever you are passing through. It's already analyzed even for the science and for the shamanic world. Already millions of people in the world, they did it.
But it's not taken like a pill or anything. It's taken in the most unpleasant way you can imagine.
Yes, of course. It's very strong, my brother. So it's like he just came and burned me 13 times. I thought that was the most normal thing of the world. Okay, just burn me, my brother. Okay, I'm here. 13 times, and he made like a frog, this frog leg design in my left arm, and the 13 dots here, and then he put the medicine, and then Cambo, welcome to my life. Oh my God.
Oh my God, 13.
What a moment, brother. I thought that I was like a bomb and I will explode.
Yeah, yeah.
Literally in that moment. And like my frog face and my eyes and everything was swollen. Like, oh my God. And then, of course, the cleansing. So I never in my life purged like that.
Yeah.
Just like full on, the color, the yellow color and everything, like, wow. And then, okay, pass because Cambo is only 15 minutes, you know, the highest effect. So after I just rest, brother, I never felt so clean in my stomach since I was a very young person.
Wow. All that beer and barbecue was out?
All the beers and barbecues, they went out before the medicine, so it was the best.
Oh.
Yeah, took out all the food from my stomach, plus a super cleansing. I remember sweating also. I didn't pass out in that one. I passed out in one more, 13 dots on top of my chest. That one. Finally, okay, I did 30 dots in my arms too.
30?
Yeah, 30 burns. Yeah, because I became just a warrior of that energy.
Yeah.
So that was my first medicine, Cambo.
Wow.
That's because I recommend when I do my ceremonies with the songs that they gave me and the ceremony that was given for me, I always recommend do the Cambo because was my process, was the best. Because I saw people who didn't do the Cambo and then they were struggling so badly during the experience of the medicine. So every medicine, Cambo is always the first one to make your cleansing detox, and then you pass to the other ones that they will go into your visions. No, it's the physical body first. They work with that, and then they work with the rapé. Which is like these molecules of tobacco activating your neuron system with the ashes of sacred trees. It's like a blend of this. It's to open your third eye and things like that helps a lot. And then the sananga, which is like these eye drops, very strong eye drops. That through your lacrimal, they go into your nerves in your eye and they activate your vision.
Oh, I feel it's very activated when you get sananga. If you don't know about sananga, it's like these eye drops that feel like you put like acid in your eyes or something, like it's super intense, and you just sit there and you just got to take it and you're like
exactly,
and then it goes away and then you feel really good.
Exactly.
Like, oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
It's like okay, you get through it, but it's not fun.
It's one of my favorite medicines.
Yeah. Wow.
And it's not about time, my brother. I was doing it for 15 years. It still hurts.
It doesn't get any better.
Voice is still strong.
Yeah.
They never change. The medicines, they are amazing in that way because they're always with a new message through these reactions. You know, you can really get really amazing lessons and wisdom that is going to join you forever in your life, you know? So that's the treasure of these medicines.
Yeah.
And it's all about you too. You need to put your heart in there and your intention, and use your integrity to handle and with all the medicines,
Definitely.
So, and after all the process of these medicines, the ayahuasca came to me. It was like 2 hours. So we start Cambo at 8. At 10 p.m. I was in there sitting ready to have my first cup of medicine.
Wow.
At that point, my brother, I already understood how sacred was that.
Wow.
All my thoughts about this was a party, they were gone. Because after Cambo, nobody will invite you to a party to do Cambo, you know what I mean?
Totally.
Usually the people invite you to a party to put things in, not to put things out.
Totally.
Yeah. So at that point, I already understood, okay, this is something.
Yep.
And then I had my first cup. I went and the shaman was blowing the medicine and blessing the medicine. And I went and I drank my first cup and like I just laid down without any experience in psychedelics. Only like able to accept and handle and pass through that because, of course, my friend told me this is like 7 hours journey, so be strong. So yeah, I'm gonna be strong, no worries.
I do kung fu.
Yeah. So also, and so I was in there, brother, just laying down in my couch. I didn't used to do any meditation and nothing, so I was like just like this, watching the roof, watching around from my pillow, like watching around the people. Everybody was in silence.
How many people was there your first time?
Was up to 40 people.
Okay, it's a big circle, yeah.
Big circle.
Okay.
Yeah, between 40 and 50 people. It was
Wow.
a big ceremony. So I was in there watching, and the roof of the house, a big house with the big woods, on the roof, like
The big
these
beams.
like this. And I was like, after half an hour, I was watching everything, and everything started just to change, my brother. And especially those woods, those were the first psychedelic vision that I had in that experience, because these woods, they start like to do like this, to wave. And I was, what? What is this? They start to wave, and more and more and more. So I didn't close my eyes and meditate and go into the medicine, so that I was aware of that. These woods, they became snakes.
Yeah.
They became snakes. They just were separate from the roof, and they start like to become a snake, and then they start to come to me like this to watch me. So I say, oh my God, what is this? And in some point, the snake just touched me here. And from there, like I went somewhere else, darkness, full darkness. No, nothing in there. Black, but my eyes were in there. I was watching this darkness, like, I felt awake in there. And then start to appear something like a light in the bottom. So I say, okay, I need to go to the light. This dark, okay, is fine. I never was afraid of dark and things like that. So it was fine in there. Like, okay, thank you, darkness. Okay, but I want to go there to check it out. So I start to go there, and more light, more light, more light, more light. And then I saw this hallway going in. And I enter in this hallway, and this hallway has doors on the sides. Many doors on the sides. And the hallway wasn't a hallway with the walls like in one symmetric. No, one wall like this, one wall like that. Like, and even the doors were like kind of weird too. And I say, oh, what is going on? And then I say, okay, I need to open one of these doors. And I came to open one of these doors. And I opened the door. And guess what? Who was in there? Myself. Myself, brother. I was watching myself. And myself was inviting me to join him in whatever he was doing inside of those doors.
All right. Great.
So imagine in my life what I was doing in that moment. So the medicine was very very present in that way. In the beginning, the first doors that I opened was like very present life, what I was doing, how I was behaving, about my ego. So I was like, I opened this door and I was in there like, hey, come here, let's do this, like everything, or fighting and everything. I opened another door and I was fighting inside, smashing a person. In the other door was like more sexual and things like that. And you know what I did in every of those doors? Every time that I just opened the door and I saw myself in there. Myself was inviting myself to go inside and say, no, thank you. Boom. I closed those doors, brother.
Wow.
And I just closed those doors that night. Yeah. So I closed 3 doors. I remember I closed 3 doors.
Okay.
And then I went to the 4th one because I was like always willing to explore, no matter what. I was in there, okay, I'm here, I need to use this time. I understood so fast. And I went and I opened the 4th door. And I was singing, and vibing. Like I was singing with a drum in my hand. And I felt like the rhythms, the frequencies. Believe me, brother, at that moment, I didn't even hear the music of the shaman.
Wow.
Didn't hear the music of the shaman. No, I don't remember the music of the shaman. I just remember my own journey inside of this. I was fully disconnected from the ceremony.
Wow.
Yeah, in my visions and seeing myself first time in my whole life.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. And then the medicine, I opened that door, music, and then in the other one, I start to have like premonitions, or, like knowings about the things. Uh-huh. So in the other one, show me with family, like with a big love. And actually was part of the future because wasn't the woman who I was in that moment. This is first time that I'm saying this in a podcast.
Wow.
In my life, this was very personal information.
Wow.
But I want to share it with you because it's good. Yeah, and I saw that and wow. And then, okay, that was the full message. That was the last message. It showed me like a family. So I felt like the love of myself, my energy was in there, was really beautiful. And finally, I just like start to calm down, 1 cup,
Yeah.
in 2 hours
Yeah.
or 1 hour and a half, you are already out. So I start to feel again. And I didn't had any purging the first time, first cup and nothing.
Wow.
So I was like that, and then I just I start to feel the music coming, like the music coming from the shamans. And the people and their stuff and everything. So I reconnect again with the circle. So, and I just sit up, and I was in there, and I, with my eyes closed, still feeling like, like coming again into the darkness. Everything became dark again till I opened my eyes and I saw the candles. And so I went back. That was my first cup of ayahuasca.
Wow.
And then I just stand up to go to bathroom. So I went to bathroom, and then when I was coming back to my mattress, Pajepeno, the shaman, he already he remind my name. He didn't forget my name. We were with 50 people, brother.
Yeah.
And I know him like working in ceremonies. He doesn't know the name of anybody.
Yeah.
But he remembered my name.
Wow.
Nice.
Special connection there.
Yeah. And I was going to my mattress, like very in silence, trying to don't bother anybody. And I just hear from the bottom, like, Andrés, more medicine.
Yeah. I know
in Portuguese.
Yeah.
Andrés, mais medicina. And after that journey, I was like, okay, guys, let's do it. Of course, thank you for telling me. Like, okay, everything in my inside, not talking because everybody was in the ceremony.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but I was so excited to go for my second cup.
Wow.
And I went, and he gave me my second cup. Yeah, so in my second cup, I was in there, and this one was very psychedelic, was very like the DMT visions. All these patterns coming in many colors, fractality coming to me. Like, whoa, wow, in the activation, like, oh my God, I was so excited. And from this fractality, in some point, start to become more material. And I start to see, like, oh, I know this kind of pattern. I know this kind of pattern too. Oh, wow. And I start to feel presence of people.
Yeah.
And then more clarity in my vision. And I was in this entertainment park with roller coasters, carousels, these planes doing like this. Like, and was like super exciting because I love roller coasters. I love it so much.
That's great.
So, brother, I was like in this place, and I was like, oh my God, okay, yeah, I want to do this, like I want adrenaline, and then I start to see the people, and brother, the crowd of the park was all the people that I saw during all my life, of especially the last 5 years. So the people who I was meeting during my experience inside of the Matrix.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And of course I was very respected and loved, like, and the people was coming to me to say hello, like, hey, what's up, brother? Things like that. And some of the people, they came to me. I saw them coming to me, like with really good energy. And hello, what's up, brother? Like with good face and good energy. And some others, brother, they were looking like demons.
How did that feel when you were like, because
Man,
it's a lot.
man, I was like, get out from here. He's like, who are you? He's like, I don't want to see you. Goodbye, brother. And the people start to come so fast, brother, to me, like, hey, blah, 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 blah. Start to feel overwhelmed. And then I start to see I just say, oh, no, I want to go to the roller coaster better. I don't want to see all these people,
Yeah.
And I see the roller coaster, brother. And the roller coaster was like a beautiful, like a dragon or something, something like that. And then I saw the roller coaster and was different. It was like a roller coaster demon or something, brother. And then I saw the carousel and was like all the horses like Zombieland or something.
Oh, shit.
Brother. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like that kind of
So it's
vision.
like a roller coaster of the Matrix or
Oh
something.
my God, brother. And I start like between the people coming to me, the carousel, the roller coaster, all the colors, like boom, boom. I start to feel so overwhelmed.
Nope.
And then my best friend came to me,
Okay.
my bucket.
I was gonna say, that sounds like grounds for vomiting for sure. Yeah.
My brother, and I had the most like deep cleansing ever with the plant, brother. Like took out. I thought, brother, that I was literally purging from my brain, brother.
Wow.
My pineal gland. I felt from behind, inside, something like squeezing from there.
Wow.
And cleaning something that I didn't even know what it was, brother.
Wow.
Was something that just like reconfiguration of something inside of my brain. And brother, I was like full on purging. I had to go to bathroom. I was, brother, literally sitting in the bathroom, purging in my bucket, boom, number one, number two, everything, like my bucket, sweating and crying in the same time, bro.
Yeah. So intense.
In the same time, just because what I was doing with my own. Yeah.
Wow.
Like just was an awakening, brother. That vision was an awakening of how lost I was in my life, brother. Like I was lost in that moment. I had a really superficial life, and I wasn't valuing my family. I wasn't valuing my woman, my partner. I wasn't valuing so many things, important things that they should be valued every single day of my life from me. I don't say about the others, everybody thinks whatever,
Sure.
But about myself, I just was like, why? Like, I was crying just because I wasn't aware about my beloved people.
Wow.
I was only thinking about other things.
I love that because, like I said, you're like the commercial for ayahuasca working for me, because I noticed when we first met, just the little things you would say. Like when I meet people, I notice like little things quite a bit. And the way that you talk and the way that you carry yourself and the way that you do, like everything feels like a little mini ceremony. And it would be like little small things, like you would say, like, oh, it would be an honor. And I would just say, yeah, sure. And so like the way that you talk, it's so sincere, but I can tell you're savoring like these little things about life. And I love that. It makes me love being around you because everything is like so deep and sweet. And so I always just love it when I get to connect with you because I get put into my heart. And I feel like that's such a beautiful, like, just it's exactly like this is what happens if you get connected to your heart for that long and live the life. I'm like, it instantly makes me feel like, oh, I just feel good. So I love to see that about you. Crazy stuff about what you were saying was like, yeah, at 16, my Babaji, my grandfather, passed away, and he was like, I grew up with him in Indian culture. You're raised by your dad's parents, and I was the one who found him dead. I was home alone with him, so it was really traumatic for me. It was the biggest trauma at that age.
It was similar with my grandma.
Exactly.
I hold her in my arms. She was living this world, brother, and she was in my arms looking at my eyes, brother.
Yeah, it's hard.
Wow.
Yeah,
it was super hard.
It was super deep for me. Yeah, it was very, very traumatic at that age, right? And I was a bad kid, so my arm was bit by a police dog about 2 weeks earlier, so my arm was in a cast. and I had to pull him out of a bathtub. You know, it was really difficult. Like the whole situation was a very challenging situation to try to go through it. So I remember I probably held on to that for 10 years too, before I met the medicine, before I started doing the work, really. So it was about 10 years, I think I held that. And that's when it was so much drug use and so much everything, because it really hurt, right? And then went into kickboxing. I became a black belt kickboxer. I was really teaching kickboxing. I was into martial arts big time at age 19 to about 24. I was deep in it, really. That was much of my life. And then, you know, I was into some different medicines for a long time. Not exactly medicines, but, you know, depends what side of the law you're on. And then I was on, found the path and seeing how much healing and it was, and seeing that life review kind of thing, like seeing my whole life from a different angle was very, very, very healing. The thing that I love about yours was that the purging, when you talk about it, you're excited about the purging, where I'm still like, oh, I don't want to purge, man. Like I don't want to throw up anymore. You know what I mean? But you take it so like, that's very inspiring when you're about it. And so many times when you'd be like, Aren, medicine again, it'll be like, okay. You know, like it's that kind of, the energy you brought about it was super sweet. From that it's just so apparent that this was like your calling from that story. How did it go from that first time and then the 15 years of practicing in plant medicine in this journey? What was the next stage like to become where you're at now?
So that's my third cup. You know, that's the third cup. So the second one was full cleansing.
Yep.
You know, and the third cup that I did, I was struggling even to drink it.
I know that feeling.
Something was holding me. You know, something was taking me almost down. And one of my friends who was in there, he did one of the best things that I ever had during a ceremony. Is like just like he invited me to smoke outside.
Really?
Yeah. So he said to me, "Did you saw the stars with this medicine?"
Yeah. Wow.
And I was so tired, brother. After the second cup,
Yeah.
I was
Big
drained.
purge.
I was drained. And he said, "You should come to take some fresh air. Come with me. I know these people. No worries." Like I was with people, like the guy who I laid down next to, he was all his life doing these medicines. He was just going to join the ceremony. And we become friends in there. And 15 years later, we are still friends.
Wow. Beautiful.
Yeah. So then came my third cup, you know, after we came inside, and I was going like in very silence to my mattress. And I was like trying to hide myself from the shaman. I couldn't make it. Andrés, more medicine. But this time I felt like from the roots coming like adrenaline for everything what I saw. So I was with that record, no? Like, I don't want to go to this space again.
It's a lot.
So I understand my people when they say sometimes that.
Yeah.
Because I felt the same.
Totally.
So, and I went there, and then my third cup, and I said, okay, I'm going to do it. I did it with fear, brother. That was my real feeling in that moment.
Yeah.
I did it with fear, bro.
I know exactly what you mean. When you're like,
and
please.
It's just one more full cup, brother, of that brew.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Sometimes.
I was like, okay, give me exactly what I need, you know? And I drink it, brother, and then like the same fractality again, but this time different colors, and patterns. And this start to become my vision, brother, and in some point, I just start to see the trees of the jungle, but from above. Like, you know, the cups of the trees, like, they were in front of me. So I was on top of the trees and I saw the sacred Samauma tree, the biggest tree of the jungle, really majestically in front of me. And I start to realize where I was. In my vision. And I was in this place, sitting in this stone couch, on top of this stone place in the jungle, like a pyramid in the jungle or something like that. I was sitting in this place, and I was like, oh my God, what is this? And then more clarity, and I start to see people around me sitting in the same couches. And the first one that I see was Payepeno, my spiritual father, was right in front of me in a couch. And I said to him, he was with like feathers shining in his hair, in his head, and wow. And I say like, oh my God, he's so amazing. And I touch my head like this, and I had feathers in my head too. And I saw the feathers, because when I put my feathers like this, I can see them from here. And I love to do that when I'm in ceremonies. I'm always like,
Yeah.
playing with my feathers because I love them so much. And I saw them, and I saw this long parrot feather in there. And I was like, Paye. And he started to talk to me in telepathy, my brother. So I was totally impressed what is going on. So he was like this in his couch, and he was only doing like this.
Just nodding his head.
And he was sending me these messages like, welcome to the community. You can be part of this. If you take the decision, we open the paths for you right now. Because we need you here. It's time. Things like that, brother.
Wow.
And like, things like that.
Wow.
Not laughing and nothing, just like this.
Serious.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Like, and I was in there, and I said, okay, yes, I want this.
Wow.
This is who I am. This is who I want to be. Thank you for welcoming me. And then after I accept his spiritual invitation to become this man, I start to see to the other sides the two guys that they were laying down next to me. They were sitting in the couches. My friend who invited me, plus one of my song masters, they were sitting in the other side. And I saw them, brother. And everybody was like this.
Oh, cool.
We became friends after that ceremony.
Wow.
Forever.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Only one of them, he is now in a different journey, is my friend who invited me. Which is, he's a great also shaman. But he is like different way to think. I respect him and love him, but blessings. Yeah, so but with all of the other people, we are super tight still.
Wow.
And then, brother, ceremony finish. Saturday night, ceremony finish. Sunday morning. So Sunday morning, we ate, and then I went to bed. I rest. I woke up on Monday, and I quit my job.
Wow. That's awesome.
I never went to work again.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what did you do?
So I just be with my mom. No? I just was with my mom. I asked for help to my mom, like, Mom, help me, because it's like, I cannot work anymore because I want to dedicate my life to this and everything. And then months later, I just went to live by myself to another town. And on my way to the jungle, I went to the jungle, to the Amazon, to visit the tribes. And there I received my blessing from the same anaconda in this place with them, this circle of elders. They brought me to the anaconda snake.
Wait, like a literal actual snake?
Yeah, the real snake. She lives in a fallen tree. The name of this snake is Viñoro no.
Okay.
So it's one of the snakes that initiates you to be a shaman.
Really?
Yes. So
this is amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we were doing rapé and aya and everything in this place where the anaconda lives. Also, the jaguars lives in there, all parrots and monkeys. It's like the book of the jungle place.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're like in the middle of the jungle.
Exactly.
Is there any structures, or kind of just an area where they cut the trees, or like?
No. This is like a little expedition to places that are virgin jungle,
Wow.
where all these animals lives.
Yeah.
They have places that they are untouchable. So
Yeah.
it's like this perfect balance
Mhm.
of the nature in there, and the biggest animals are in there.
Wow.
All the beautiful animals are in there. So the snake lives inside of this tree, and I was on top of this tree, and then they took out the snake.
They took out the snake.
Yeah, they took out the snake. Yeah, and I felt the snake like in front of me, like giving me memories, songs, rhythms, lyrics, and everything.
What?
I just, brother, just left that place, and I knew it. I don't know how many songs in their languages,
Wow.
you know?
Wait, yeah, hold on. The snake. How big was the snake? They just pulled it out of the tree.
Like huge,
Wow.
huge, like anaconda, no?
You're like, yeah, those are huge.
Maybe 5 meters or something long.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
massive.
It's massive. And this is a big tree.
Yeah.
Fell in there. It's like a bridge.
And the tree and the anaconda is so connected to the tribes people, like the indigenous people.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
it doesn't attack anybody.
No.
Wow.
No, they don't have those problems with anaconda. No, they have really good relation with anaconda. Usually, the snakes that they are more dangerous in the jungle, they are the vipers.
Oh yeah, of course.
The vipers, they bite because they are small, so they are more sneaky. They go. The anaconda, it's so easy to see, you know.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah, it needs to be. For sure, there's stories, but I never, any time when I was in the jungle, I never heard about any damage from the snake. It's actually the snake is the most sacred being for them. They dance, they do their ceremonies in the jungle, and they dance like the snake.
Wow.
Because this snake move slowly. It's huge, my brother.
Yeah.
Believe me, it's like the head is like huge.
Yeah.
Huge snake, bro.
What about the jaguars? I feel like that'd be pretty crazy to have jaguars around like that.
Oh yeah, no, the jaguars, they were on the trees. We were just hanging out with the cubs.
Wow.
They let us hang out with their cubs, like meow 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 in there.
Really?
Yeah,
And they don't. They're just.
yeah. And the jaguars, they are just like somewhere. They are watching you from other places.
Wow.
Yeah. They have really good relation with the animals, brother.
Amazing.
Yeah, even with the monkeys, they take monkeys from there. They bring them to the village, and they play with them.
Wow.
Some monkeys, they come to play on the village, and then they leave.
Wow.
Some of them, they come and they become food.
Oh shit. They eat the monkey.
All depends the monkey. Yeah, I was eating monkeys. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, of course, because if you are with them,
Yeah.
if you really want to get the energy
Yeah.
from that people, you just really need to
Do what they
enter
do.
completely in.
Sure.
Yeah. So I just like, I didn't even buy food in the city, nothing to
No.
bring there, just eating like banana every day, like
Yeah.
every day, like this. Like a smoothie of banana, like a lot of that one.
Wow.
A lot of that one.
Yeah.
And also monkeys.
What did
and
monkey
also,
taste like? How do you eat monkey? What's it taste like? What do they make?
Like monkey. It's pretty much a monkey taste.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's like it's red meat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Amazing.
It's red meat. So they just process the monkey, and they boil it, and they eat it, and they do a soup, monkey soup.
Monkey soup.
Monkey soup. Yeah.
This is great.
Yeah.
If I was there with you, I'd have to try it.
Yeah.
As much as I'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But also, like, I get it. You're with the tribes people. You got to do what they do. You're integrating yourself. How long were you there for, like, this initiation? And they spoke Spanish?
A couple of
Or all
months.
Portuguese?
Couple of months. They only speak. Some of them only
Yeah.
speak Portuguese, and the language of them is Noquevana.
Yeah, okay.
It's a different language.
Totally.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. So from after that snake, when I back to my home in Chile, I was already doing Cambo, but not doing yet the ceremonies of ayahuasca, but I came with the shaman, and we start with my brother. We start to tour all around the country and giving medicine for all our friends. And finally, with all these people, I came with the shaman, and with the people who I saw in my last vision of the ceremony. Finally, we create a full new movement of ceremonies in Chile.
Wow.
So another friend of mine, very powerful too, he used to have this beautiful land in the mountains with these altars, fireplace, sweat lodge, and also a teepee. So we become super good friends. We start to do ceremonies. We finally were doing ceremonies every Saturday for 100 people.
Wow. Amazing.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
was organizing all this Aya for the people, and then San Pedro for like many massive, because the Amazonian people, they also love San Pedro. No?
Yeah.
They are really connected with that. The
Yeah.
grandmother and grandfather, no? Guachumito,
Yeah.
they say for them.
Huh.
Yeah, so we start to work together, brother, and it was like few years, like 4 years at least, doing all these practices. And in some point, I was going to Brazil, and I just stopped in Peru. I was going by land. I used to go by land. I didn't just to have so much money for planes and stuff. So I just went by land, uh, and I was like passing through Peru, and I spoke with a friend in Peru, and she invited me to Sacred Valley of the Incas, and then I met the other shamans, which is a full different story. You know,
Yeah.
like Shipios, no?
Okay.
Shipios, the masters of diets, this beautiful grandmother Amelia, the most sweet being. Bro. If you think that I'm sweet, it's like if you see her, it's like she's something else. It's like I'm sugar and she's honey. You know? It's like you know, the purest
Beautiful.
energy, and she's an amazing master healer also. She's a magical woman. So with my other crew in Peru also, like my sister Selva, very important for my heart also. Actually, it's the people who we're going to do the retreat in 2025.
Awesome.
Yeah, so this crew of women, the most powerful women that I ever met in my whole life, at least in this path of medicine.
Amazing.
I saw many, but these women, they are something else.
Beautiful.
Something else.
And so you start off with, was it Noki Queen tribe in Chile, and then with the Shipipo tribe in Peru.
In Peru.
And then how many years was this then? Because I want to talk about your motorcycle accident as well.
This was for 6 years.
Okay.
This was for 6 years that I was in such a flow, my brother.
Yeah.
I was in the glory of my medicine path. I had invitations to so many countries when I went to Peru that time. So I had this separation of the mother of my son. Because I met the mother of my daughters, and I was totally in love of her in my own ceremony.
What was that
so
like?
Imagine how was that?
Yeah.
Like kissing a woman in front of all your friends, and everybody knows your ex.
You did that?
I did that.
Oh, wow.
Brother, I just like kind of destroyed the tribe.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I want to say it because it's like, it's just my life
It's
story.
fucking real, bro. Wow.
It's real, brother. I just destroyed my tribe.
Wow.
Like I separate my tribe in 2 pieces, brother.
Wow.
The people who was like supporting the mother of my son, who is just the most amazing woman ever, brother. You know, she was the love of my life. I will love her forever because we met. Is the woman of my neighborhood, you know. Is the woman who we were dreaming to be together. We had my son and I was separate, bro, because I was in love of Andrea, the mother of my daughters.
Wow.
Like, brother, like explosive love or something. I couldn't even understand.
So you met her for the first time in a ceremony you were holding?
Yeah.
And then...
Yeah.
How did that go? Because how did that, and you were hosting the ceremony, how did that happen? Like, how did that situation come about?
It was magic, brother, because I'm very aware about that. I never stay with women or people who is in my ceremonies, you know, because I'm very professional in that way.
Yeah.
But with Andrea was like a deep calling.
Yeah.
Was like something just called me to her. I couldn't even control myself, brother.
Wow.
I remember that when I kissed her in front, and my sisters, they were crying in front of me.
Oh my God.
And my friends.
This is a novella, bro.
They were like watching me like, oh my God, what is going on?
Yeah, this is wild.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what I did? I left from my home. I left Maria Paz with my son.
Wow.
Yeah. And I went with Andrea. All my family, brother, was so upset with me.
Yeah.
So upset. What a time, oh my God.
Wow.
And I invite Andrea. I say, okay, no, let's go to jungle, let's go to Peru. And I went to visit my Peruvian shamans and family in there with her. And we were in Peru, brother. We did the most amazing ceremonies ever. We were like a full month and a half in there or something like that, having the most amazing time and everything. And then, brother, the day that I was coming back to Chile, I had my flight at 7 p.m. And my friends, they invite me to do this motorbike tour. And I went to do the motorbike tour. And that day I fell.
Oh.
4 hours before my flight.
Wow. I didn't know it was so soon, like around the separation and this, so that feels very connected, like a very interesting, like...
Brother, that was my karma.
Yeah.
I just paid my karma, brother. Thank God, nothing happened with Andrea.
Yeah.
She only had like a deep wound next to her knee, which it's a scar now, she didn't broke any bone. But I just destroyed my leg, brother, in there.
You shattered your right leg, right?
Yeah. I almost lost it.
Wow.
I almost lost
Me
it.
too.
Like was hanging in there, bro. And I understood right away, my brother. I just felt I was on the floor in the most beautiful sunset ever. And I was like, okay, Great Spirit, this is it. Perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's recover. In that moment, I don't know if you were conscious after your accident.
I was conscious the entire time.
That moment where nothing hurts. Do you remember that moment? Everything feels weird.
Yeah.
But nothing hurts yet.
Maybe it was a good like 10 seconds. The start, I was on the ground and nothing quite hurt yet.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't move. And my first thought was, is my Ducati okay? Like, is my bike okay? Because I just got it painted. So I was like thinking about my bike right away.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? I was alone. So I was like, where's my bike? You know, and then the pain hit like a tsunami.
For me, was like a little bit more without any pain.
Okay.
It was like maybe half an hour of
lucky you.
No pain, only feeling my feet so weird because I didn't have any more damages in my body either.
Okay, just the leg.
Yes, only that. But it was really bad.
Yeah.
It was really bad. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And I was in there and I understood. I say, okay, if I have to pay this karma, I'm gonna pay it happy. And okay, I'm so sorry. I was sending blessings, especially to my family. And Maria Paz, the mother of my son, from there, And I say, okay, but there's no way back, So okay, now we just move on.
That's kind of exactly what I thought when I was in the ambulance, and I was like, if this is my karma, I accept it. I'm sorry, and I said it in right there. I was praying to the ceiling of the ambulance. And I was like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I accept this.
Yeah.
Please don't let me be paralyzed. Let's make a deal. Like I'll be good. But like, it was, I know exactly what you mean by that. And I remember you telling me this because that's how we really bonded, because we have so many things in common. It's crazy, brother. Definitely soul brothers. But when we were talking about my motorcycle accident, because when I reached out to you for ceremony and I was telling you my birthday's coming up, I also finished doing all the painkillers. I was on morphine for 2 years. I'm quitting the painkillers, quitting kratom, just going to deal with the pain totally sober. And I'd like to clean my body out, and I'd like to clean the residue of this emotional baggage from the accident, everything. I just want to clear it out and move on. And you were like, hey, I was in a motorcycle accident too. And then we bonded over that. I was like, oh, wow, this is definitely the person I'm supposed to connect with. Very, very similar. And when you told me that you were in the hospital and you were doing ceremony, I was like, wait, whoa, what? Tell this story. This is crazy.
Yes, brother. So after I couldn't move myself. I was in Peruvian jungle when I fell.
Oh God.
So the only option was just to go to the Peruvian hospital, which is not so good, especially in the middle of the jungle, brother. They just made a surgery of my ankle in front of me.
No anesthesia, no.
Yeah, anesthesia in my spine only for my legs, but I was totally awake.
Oh my God!
And they were like with a Black & Decker drill, like putting nails in, things in on my foot.
And you're awake for that.
And I was like watching everything. That was like trippy, brother, trippy. Yeah. Wow, what a moment. And then I had to be in Peru for a while. And finally, I could make it to Chile 1 month later. Before was like
Yeah.
impossible to move from there.
Totally.
Once that I could move, okay, I just bought a ticket and I went back to Chile to do my recovery.
Yeah.
And when I arrived in Chile, I was already with an infection in my bone from the fell because they never cleaned it very well. It wasn't like a good hospital. So finally, I arrived in Chile and I passed through this hospital, which somebody recommended me. No, this was really good and not so much, not so expensive. I didn't have insurance and nothing, So it was like many people helping me, brother. I just want to say now how grateful I am of all the help that I received from all my friends and especially from the family of the mother of my daughter. They helped me so much. My family, automatically I recovered my family. I fell and this broke the bad vibes between my mom, my sisters, my brothers, and everybody. So everybody was with me.
That's great.
Like I broke my leg, but I recovered my people.
Great.
So I was like so grateful about it and for the help of all these people. So wow, it was like, and I was in the hospital and I just say it like, okay, how can I do this? I can suffer because I cannot move and I cannot walk. Or maybe I can just do whatever I can and have fun, Yeah. So I chose that one, brother. I just chose that one, brother. Yeah. And I focus myself especially in not to be sad because you become so emotional with that because it's like all your world just stop, my brothers. It's like you are never the same person anymore. You cannot move by yourself. You need somebody carrying you in a wheelchair. So I say, okay, which is the best if I need somebody carrying me in a wheelchair, somebody bringing my food, how should I be in this moment? If I'm an idiot and I start to become angry because I'm sick and was my responsibility also, it's not like somebody coming to damage me, it's my own karma.
Totally.
How I need to be with all these people around me. I need to be happy.
Yeah.
So I always show my best smile and I had my moments that I was crying, but with myself, brother.
Yeah, same.
I never was showing so much to my people that part because I don't think they deserve it, bro.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I tried to make my hospital time hilarious. Any chance I could fuck around and joke around with the nurses or the doctors.
Yeah.
The doctor, the surgeon, and me still text each other. He's like, "How are you doing?" He drives motorcycles too. I'm like, "Come get a tattoo at my shop." He's like, "Okay, soon." Like
that's super cool.
We're cool, right? He's gonna come get tattooed.
Yeah.
It's super funny, right? Like,
yeah.
Random.
So I was with this infection in my foot and I had to just go to the best hospital. Is this hospital where they recover in Chile. There's a lot of mining.
Okay.
Yeah. Mining. I'm sorry.
Sure. No.
Mining. So it's like imagine the accidents in the mines.
Yeah, of course.
It's like so. Is this hospital where they it's like a Jedi hospital? No, they can put a new arms for you, things like that. The best plastic surgeons are in there. Best traumatologists. So I went to this super cool doctor. Sending blessings also because we were in touch like only a few years ago, but we were always talking too. But it's already 10 years, almost. So was in this hospital, bro, and I went there and I just I say, okay, I have help. I have money available for this. How am I gonna make it? I just rent my own room, brother.
Yeah, good choice.
In the hospital.
Yeah.
Just rent my own room. And I say, I want my own space. And I did that. And then the doctor came to talk with me. And I said to the doctor, okay, doctor, I have religion, I'm a religious man. So, and I took my hair. I used to have my long hair. And I did dreadlocks. So this is my religion and this is my medicine, so I cannot stop to do it. I ask him for authorization to smoke, like an extra official, because it's illegal in Chile, you know what I mean?
To smoke some ganja.
Yeah. So
you pulled the Rasta card in the hospital.
Yeah. Yeah, I just took the Rasta culture.
This is
and said,
great.
okay, this is my because it was always like very connected with the Rasta people, and I
Yeah.
love the reggae music too. And
Me too. It's great.
Yeah, I'm devoted to that music too. You know what I mean? So I just used that part of my DNA to put some action in that
So they let
moment.
you- they let
and
you smoke weed and all?
my doctor took it really well. You know,
Amazing.
he said, okay, if you do it, just like try to be, not so evident,
Yeah.
like, but do it, no worries, it's okay, I understand you, like,
Yeah, amazing.
Uh-huh.
That's great.
I won't say the name of the doctor because,
Yeah, let's not get him in trouble, but thanks, Doc.
yeah,
You're cool.
but thanks, Doc. Yeah, so, and the nurses also, so I just get my own room and my couch in there. I set my altars, brother, all my feathers. I used to burn incense, my candles in the night, and everything was such a vibe, my room. So such a vibe, my room, and people start to come to visit me. So sometimes we were like hanging out with people, and okay, what we're gonna do? Okay, today. Let's do a mini ceremony here in the hospital. We were like drinking San Pedro in the hospital,
Wow.
ayahuasca, we did mushrooms,
This is amazing.
and playing music with my crew, with my friends. Or
The-
sometimes people I did ceremonies in the hospital sometimes because I have like a group of 10 people coming to visit me.
Incredible.
And some of them, they were people who I didn't knew it so much. Was sometimes they just came people who I saw once in my life.
Yeah.
I don't know where, and they just enter in my door and hello, like, was like a TV show episode. Every day was a different episode. Yeah, something like that.
This is crazy.
And-
How do you host an ayahuasca ceremony? And you can't move. Your leg's in a boot, or you got one leg up or something, right? Like,
I just hosted from my bed.
this is great.
From my bed with my foot,
This is a
with my
reality show,
foot
bro.
high in there, my other arm connected to the antibiotics and everything, like playing my instruments with these
This
nails.
is crazy.
Sometimes I used to break it.
Of course.
Sometimes
Yeah.
I used to break it because I was playing.
Yeah.
I start to play guitar in the hospital actually.
You never played
My-
guitar
yeah.
before.
My brother, who used to play guitar in my ceremonies,
Yeah.
and we used to sing together. He came to the hospital and he told me, like, brother, now you don't have legs, but you have arms. This is the time to learn guitar.
Wow.
Because he tried to give me the guitar before.
Yeah.
And I always say, no, see, you are my guitar player, no worries.
Yeah, wow. And you play
And-
guitar well. Or you play every instrument well. It's crazy. Doing ceremony with you, bro.
Yeah.
This is
It
amazing.
was such a blessing, brother. That
Wow.
changed many things, like bring more instruments. I used to do my work very shamanic, my shakabak,
Yeah.
and shamanic drum.
Yeah.
Was awesome always, but now I think it's so great.
Oh yeah.
With
It's a
all
full-on
those
concert.
instruments, it's a full-on concert.
seriously
so
is.
it's like so good, so good.
To give you guys context, like we did a private ceremony, so three of my
Yeah.
buddies and me,
Yeah.
and you and your shaman squad, so it was 4 on 4 private ceremony. Wanted it intimate. And it was just a private concert. It was incredible with they had special lights and this sound system and like a million instruments. It was incredible.
We just passed through all the frequencies, no? We
Yeah.
passed through the very shamanic, very natural, organic sound, and then we just go to the magic also of the
Yeah.
technology, which
Yeah.
is something very important that we should manage, because if we don't manage all the spectrums, I don't think we can find so much balance, because we are in a time of technology. If you dedicate your life only to shamanism and only to the organic thing, after, even the sound of a motorbike next to you will affect you. The sound of a car, the sound of the music and everything. We should be always still in our life with every sound, because we live in that.
Totally.
So the people is becoming too sensitive when they are too shamanic.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I feel that.
Yeah. So if you become like that, it's much better to live just in the jungle or just in the mountain, which is super cool too. But in some point, you have to go to figure some things out.
Yeah.
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 To some places, and you will be super affected
Yeah.
by that energy and frequencies, which is low frequencies.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think through the technology, these low frequencies, they are combined with the super high frequencies, so they make like a yin yang energy coming your way. So you start to appreciate the darkness and the light in the same moment too, in a different way.
Yeah.
That's how I feel it sometimes.
That's a pretty good way to look at it.
Yeah.
Because it's easy to go, like when I go to meditation retreat or you go out into the jungle or you go India, Himalayas or something, it's like, bliss, epic. And then I come back to the city and I'm like, oh my God, like, this is intense, you know, it's hard.
Yeah.
And so to be able to manage both.
Yeah. I hear you when you say also you were with the morphine, no? The morphine is heaven when you are with an accident like that, those levels of accident with broken bones and stuff. Morphine is just the best.
Awesome.
The best.
Good times.
Yeah, such a good time.
Yeah.
I used to do morphine always before to do my ceremony of ayahuasca.
Wow.
Yeah.
When you're in the hospital.
In the hospital and outside too.
Yeah?
Yeah, of course, because otherwise it's like you will drink the medicine and you don't want to be on pain.
Yeah.
You just disconnect that part because it's a smart medicine, no?
Yeah.
Which is considered a drug, and this is also part of the chat that we are having too.
Yeah,
you know why the people consider these things as drugs. You know, even the ayahuasca and all the psychedelics, and master plants, they are also drugs.
Of course.
If it's just like from which perspective or from which point of view you are watching these plants. So in the language of the people in the jungle, they don't even have the word drug or droga. When they speak about that, you can tell, because it's like they're speaking their language, and when they say droga, they say it in our language or in Portuguese. That doesn't exist in their language.
Yeah.
But in our culture, exists forever, because it is a scientist way to classify all the plants and the principal actives coming from everything. Which is like the pharmacy, no? It's the drugstore. So like every single extraction from the nature, even if it's a pill or if it's a natural brew, is still a drug if you are a scientist.
Yeah, totally.
So makes sense when the people say that these are drugs.
Yeah.
But what the society is not doing in this moment is just classifying the kind of drugs, because this is for therapy, and for auto-exploration, also for inner exploration for yourself, for brain activation, because it's like the same science who say that these plants are drugs is the same science that is saying that you are just using the less of your 10% of your brain.
Have you ever seen people like do too much ayahuasca and it's not helping them, or like who shouldn't do ayahuasca? Is there any risks of it not actually improving their lives?
Yeah, that's actually part of my speech when I speak with my people. Maybe you heard that too. Maybe I say it in some point. I always say the ayahuasca it's a tool. It's a sacred medicine. Can come with amazing messages for you, but it's a lot up to you too. Because there's some people who is confused between the voice of the consciousness and what the plant is coming to give you. Because it's like the plant is just the activation for your inner message. That's how I see it. It's not like the grandmother talked to me. The grandmother told me this. She's a big presence, but she only talks through your own language.
Yeah.
So if you are a person who you are confused in some ideas, this can be increased. So I always say, be very grounded with this. You are not coming here to get high. You are coming here to ground yourself and know yourself a little bit better. Because if you drink too much ayahuasca, you can increase your talents, become a super great being, even like a kind of superhero, like these shamans, no? That we see in action, no? It's like these are kind of superheroes or something, no? But also you can become a complete idiot with all these medicines if you don't know how to handle. Because there's many people who they think that because they do medicines, they are superior of other people, and they say, no, all these people of the Matrix, they are sleeping, and they are like just like not respecting the other tendencies. Because we are million people in the world, millions. experiencing all these plants, but they're not the truth about life. You know what I mean? Yeah, even the most crazy, amazing shamans and the most powerful healers of this world, they have troubles too.
Yeah, of course.
They have to deal with things. Sometimes they made mistakes. Everybody.
I love
Uh-huh.
that you mentioned that though, really,
Yeah,
because
and
we all have that. Like when you were so raw and vulnerable talking about what you've been through and mistakes, if they were mistakes or just things that you've been through. Like I think that's really important for people that are in a position of power to own that and be like, I'm human too. Like everybody has their shit. Everybody has their
everybody.
everybody. And if you have an idol and they're perfect, you probably don't know them well enough because there's probably some
Exactly.
shit that they've done.
Exactly. So how you avoid to don't make so much mistakes or don't pass through so many emotions? You just have to take the decision of your life and go to these temples in Himalayas or Tibet and spend your whole life in there just praying on front to the gods.
Yeah.
So yeah, how you gonna have troubles in there, no? When these gurus they say no, his life is so simple, la la la, it's because it's like not going so much out, you know what I mean?
I know.
Uh-huh.
I think about it all the time.
Yeah,
Maybe
it's
I should
like,
be a monk.
of course, if
Yeah.
you are in a temple with everybody just vibing and just meditating the whole day, eating all together in silence, because there's rules in there too, no?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's not like that, so go to deal with the real world too in the other side, no? That's a real world. So I always speak with my people to guide them. I always say, please recognize the realities. Recognize the realities of the third dimension as real, because they are not an illusion. Everything what is happening in the world right now is very real and it's touching us all. As more we want to turn our face to other side, this is touching us anyway and it's part of us. So be aware about that, about what is happening in the third dimension. Be aware about your dreams too,
Yeah.
about your subconsciousness. Be
Yeah.
aware about that, because in the dreams there's many messages coming to you. So don't forget to concentrate your energy when you're going to sleep and you're pretty tired. Set an intention also in there and go into the mystery also of the dreams. So you're gonna have more awareness. Just remember that, and see your dreams also as realities, but they belong to those dimensions. Even if they are sending you messages for the other dimensions, there's some people who have. There's some people who have dreams, and then these things sometimes happen in this reality.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Or it's the same. We have adventures in this reality, and then they happen in our dreams. So when we go to a higher frequency or vibration, like the master plants, those two fields, they will come to join also this journey. That is because we can heal our traumas inside of the ayahuasca world. We can align our sleep too. And finally gather our trinity to carrying that knowledge in our body the rest of our life here in the earth. So the most important, to don't become an idiot with the medicine and to manage with that, is have clarity about the realities, and don't see the people who doesn't do the medicine like stupid or not awake and everything, because there's so many amazing people. I have amazing friends that they never tried anything, and they're so cool.
Yeah.
They're so cool people in my family, also families of my friends. So I always, the key for this is always respect yourself and the rest of the world.
Beautiful.
Even if somebody is not agreed with you and with your practice, even with that, okay, it's okay. You don't have to be such a humble and like accept somebody coming to attack you. You can have also the capacity, to respond and even to send somebody, get out of here, because it's like, I don't want to hear you. You're also, you're not going to lose your spirituality for that. So the people go into the medicine afraid, and they are trying to change themselves. The idea here is just change some patterns, but keep on being real, keep on being yourself, because if you are like in this way, you look like that. Not everybody, all your people always see you like that. And after, I don't know, you go to a retreat for 10 days and then you come home like wearing linen and like, not washing yourself sometimes. The people become so different. So you're not gonna have a good experience, especially with the people who already knows you, because you will go to your family. What your family is gonna do? Your family is gonna laugh on you.
Yeah.
If you try to go to your neighborhood friends, don't try. It's gonna be worse.
I've been there.
So so many people, they become confused because they wanna change what they are. There's many people here they are even changing their names also because only because they want to leave behind who they really are. So it's cool to put your second name, your nickname, or everything. But you need to honor what's your real vibration is the name who is coming from the day of your born, even before. And it's there because of a reason. So if you try to forget about it, you are missing something very important in your life. Because those combinations of letters, they have numeric combinations, letter combinations, and it's there because of a reason. So you need to work in that too.
Yeah.
So, yes, why happen this with so many people too? Because also some people, they don't have the same time that everybody has to do medicines.
Yeah.
So the medicines are exactly like the pharmacy treatments too. When you are sick in some spiritual part, even your body or whatever, because you have medicines in Amazon for your body, for your soul, for both of them. Like the combo is for your body more than for the soul. Even if open chakras and everything and helps to the connection with the connection for Aya is not even close what the Aya can do. So the rapé and it's like the pharmacy place, the things, So
Amazon
like,
pharmacy.
Yeah, so they also, sometimes they work in some people, sometimes they don't.
Yeah.
There is some people who they have one experience and they don't go anymore. There's some other people that they just go and they want to do it always. Like me. I met the medicine, I quit my job, and I start to do it every single week forever. I never stopped to do medicine.
That's amazing.
The last almost 16 years.
Wow.
Never stop.
Wow.
Not even like maybe 1 month.
That's amazing.
It's always it's not because I have everything in always in my home with me and everything, but it's so sacred for me that I just do the ceremony. I never do so many, only mushroom for some good race and everything. I love it, but the other medicines, they are especially for ceremonies, and just it's open the space for that. Not even without an intention, it's like I cannot pass nearly 1 month doing this because it's always somebody calling,
it's
to manifest their ceremony. We are just
like me with you.
We are just the manifestation of the dreams of the people. It's the same that my people who is around is the manifestation of those dreams that I used to have at 7 years old.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
What would you say to somebody that's curious about trying plant medicine?
I'm sorry, what?
What would you say to someone who's curious about trying plant medicine?
There's many kinds of people, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, we cannot forget that, because it's like there's some people who they are researching about these plants for years, brother. I had people in my ceremonies that they told me, brother, I was like trying to do this for 2 years. And some other people is just like, no, I was invited yesterday and I came today.
Yeah, totally.
Some others, they want to like, they have so many attachments to come. Because you never know who is the people. No?
Totally.
You never know about the story.
It's just like the tattoo business. This is like people business.
Exactly.
People come and they have a whole bunch of baggage.
Yeah.
Or they come, they're like, let's go.
Yeah.
Or they come and like, Damien was hilarious. Our buddy Damien, my friend who came, my trainer, he's going to be on the podcast tomorrow. And it was his first time doing ayahuasca. And I asked him like a week or less than a week before, but we became good friends. He was training me. And I'm like, you want to come? He's like, sure, man, let's go. Let's do it. Like super easygoing. But it's his first time. And when we're sitting in the 4 of us, he was up first. So he never went to the altar before. And so when he took the medicine, he tried to cheers you almost. He was standing up. Remember this?
He was doing like a cheers. Yeah, when somebody do like that, I say, cheers, my guy.
So
Of
fucking
course, I just follow
funny,
my people. Yeah, of course.
And you were cool with it. Like, it was super funny though, but he didn't know. So when I went next, I properly, you kneel at the altar and, hold it with some reverence, put some intention into it. It's a different vibration. But he went first and he didn't know any better. And it was fucking hilarious because he's just like, thank you, brother. Kind of thing, like a cheers. And I was just like, oh, Damien, you're so South African. And it was like such a funny moment. I'm gonna bug him about it tomorrow. I bugged him about it after. And then the second time he went up, he saw all of us like, oh, this is you go up with like this. Okay, it's a little bit different cultures. And he got it, and it was super funny. And he had such a deep experience with you.
I know.
He healed the relationship of his father's death. And he saw his father, because he was there when his father died. He was over his hospital bed, him now as him. And then he experienced his father's death as his father underneath the blankets looking at him. And I was beside him having this crazy, amazing experience. And he's having this super deep experience. And he turns over and he's just like, I just died as my father. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, oh my God. And it was like super deep for him. And we had this like karmic brotherhood link. It was really beautiful, like very, very deep.
I remember it was a really beautiful weekend.
That was amazing.
Yeah, that was amazing.
The first day was hard, like 7 dots or 8 dots in me, and then for the combo, and then the first day all of us vomited a lot. Like it was a deep purge.
That is all about that ceremony is like the first one of my retreats and everything is all about cleansing. It's just like I'm not trying to create anything new. It's exactly what they did with me.
Beautiful.
But with my presence only. But that's exactly the structure that they use with me my first time that I went to a ceremony.
Beautiful.
I never changed that. It's like I remember exactly the same when I do the Peruvians. It's the same way that I learned with my masters in Peru. It
was amazing. The second night was bliss. All of us were in a love bubble, and I had this really amazing, when Inez was singing, this amazing heart opening, like a surgery, removing scar tissue, and it was just reminding me to love. You have so much love in you. Remember that. Remember. And I was like, whoa.
Remember who you are.
Yeah, it was powerful.
Like the song.
Man. Brother, this was such an amazing conversation to have with you. It was so easy and so much fun, and I know we could go on for hours and hours and hours.
Oh yeah, we can.
super easily.
For sure.
I think we should do a round 2 after our next ceremony. I really appreciate you as a friend. Really, really, really.
My brother, love you so much. It's a real honor for me always sit with you here or
wherever.
In your coffee, you know. Yeah, in a ceremony, brother. It's just, you are such a vibe, brother. And today in this podcast, I just discovered one more super connection that we had. We have
the grandparents.
The grandparents. We didn't spoke about this before.
Traumatic grandparents, martial arts,
and motorbikes.
Motorcycle accident. And then going on a path.
That's
amazing. It's really beautiful.
It's missing only some tattoos for me.
Let's go.
I want to connect more.
You come. I got you. You know the right guy.
I have one that I want to do. I want to speak with you.
Let's go. Come through. Thank you, brother. I really appreciate you.
My brother, thank you so much for having me here.
If any of you want to come visit us in Bali and visit the master over here, hit him up on Instagram. We'll have him available. Shoot him a message. Let him know that you saw it through the podcast. And I highly recommend sitting with him. And come through. You'll experience it well. Thank you so much, brother.
You're welcome, my brother. Thank you. See you soon.
Big love, homies. See you on the next episode.
Big love, family. Woo!
That was amazing. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Ink Pray Love podcast. I hope you found it inspiring, entertaining, funny, and also feeling a little bit more present and connected to yourself. Please leave a review and like and subscribe and do all those things. I'd really appreciate that. As well as if you're feeling in a giving mood, this podcast is there for the charities that I love to support. Go to www.arenbaya.com/charity and get some of those good karma points. This podcast is brought to you by Lighthouse Studios in Bali, as well as Full Reset Coaching. That is my coaching practice. And if you're looking for help in business, inner game impact, and building your legacy to be something you're proud of, your brand, your business, and how you walk the earth and who you impact, and also having the mindset and the heart set to be able to be happy handling it all. I'm here for you. Just DM me. Let's go. Peace out, homies. I'll see you on the next episode.